Hello and welcome back to the channel. If you're joining us for the first time, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the bell icon. This way, you'll stay updated with our daily insights designed to help you navigate the world of finance. Today's video will be the most eye-opening that you'll see. We're diving deep into the shocking truth: why U.S. schools are failing at financial literacy. You won't believe the untold reasons why most Americans are left clueless about handling their finances. Stay tuned until the end, because we've got 2 incredible bonuses lined up. 8 key takeaways and 8 exercises that you absolutely need to know. Ready to uncover what our schools aren't teaching us about money? Let's get started. Why are we taught financial literacy in school? Imagine if school taught us compound interest over analyzing Shakespearean sonnets. Things I still don't understand. Credit card debt isn't taught in high school. In America's school, they still prefer to talk about Pythagorean theorems over crucial topics like managing credit card debt that are often overlooked in high school curriculums. Financial literacy education in schools is not just about numbers and formulas. It's about empowering individuals to take control of their financial futures and build a foundation for lifelong financial well-being. Research highlights this educational gap. A 2019 study by the National Bureau of Economic Research found that more than half of U.S. adults lack basic financial literacy, a shortfall contributing to widespread financial instability. Americans are drowning in over $1 trillion of credit card debt. More than a quarter have no retirement savings, and over a third would struggle with a sudden $400 emergency expense. Given these statistics, it's not shocking that 88% of adults believe high schools should mandate financial literacy classes. While it's easy to say schools teach us nothing about money, that's not entirely accurate. However, the limited financial education provided is clearly insufficient, considering the challenges many Americans face. More robust, practical financial education could help equip future generations with the necessary tools to manage their finances more effectively. And if you're not financially savvy, you might struggle with understanding how to manage your money, tracking where it's spent, or even knowing where it's kept. You might also be unaware of the different financial options available to you. Achieving a solid grasp of these elements involves not only learning financial terminology, but also being able to perform basic calculations in your head. It takes time to fully comprehend these concepts. You can't simply master the basics in a day or two and consider yourself proficient. In essence, becoming financially literate is much like becoming literate in the traditional sense. Understanding these concepts isn't just about knowing terms. It involves being able to apply them through mental calculations and practical decision-making. Learning the fundamentals of financial literacy takes time. It's not something you can master overnight. In many ways, becoming financially savvy is like becoming proficient in reading and writing. It's a gradual process that requires ongoing education and practice. Mastering financial literacy isn't as straightforward as sitting through a single seminar, much like you wouldn't expect to fully appreciate Shakespeare's Hamlet after just learning how to spell. Similarly, gaining a thorough understanding of financial management goes beyond a mere introductory lesson, though often that's all that was provided. Since 1998, the Council for Economic Education has tracked how financial education is integrated into high school curriculums. By the end of the 1990s, 21 states had introduced some level of financial education, and by 2011, nearly every state had some offering. Despite this, many of these courses were not mandatory, leaving it uncertain how many students actually engaged with the material. Just as your history lessons might have repeated the causes of the Civil War multiple times while only glancing over the invention of the internet, your exposure to financial concepts might have been limited to a quick explanation of interest rates. The approach to financial education in U.S. schools has been sporadic and superficial, often squeezed into the margins of other lessons without much depth or continuity, leaving many students ill-equipped to tackle real-life financial challenges. Records of educational standards prior to the 1980s are somewhat sparse, as the Department of Education wasn't established until then. However, historical teaching materials indicate that, up through the 1950s and 60s, money management was a regular part of the public school curriculum. It was often taught within home economics classes, where students learn not only sewing and baking, but also essential financial skills like budgeting, using consumer credit responsibly, and saving for significant life events like weddings. Additionally, there were consumer education classes that offered these teachings in a less gender-specific context. However, the educational focus began to shift dramatically during the late 1950s due to geopolitical concerns. The space race with the USSR prompted fears that American students were falling behind in critical areas. In response, President Eisenhower signed the National Defense Education Act in 1958, emphasizing the importance of math, science, and foreign languages. This shift aimed to bolster national defense capabilities, but inadvertently led to a de-emphasis on practical life skills like financial literacy. Years after the educational shift toward math and science, the U.S. Department of Education released a significant report. It suggested that the decline in educational performance across the country was partly due to schools focusing too much on preparing students for adulthood rather than academic fundamentals. This report reinforced Eisenhower's emphasis on math and science and called for these subjects to be the new basics in national curriculums. This led to a surge of legislation that increasingly centered education around standardized testing, which further squeezed out room for teaching essential life skills such as financial literacy. However, over the past decade, there's been a positive change. More schools are recognizing the importance of financial education, and an increasing number of students are now spending entire semesters learning about practical financial matters like household budgeting, understanding taxes, managing credit, and navigating student loans. This shift is a hopeful sign that financial education is being revalued and might become a more permanent and effective part of school curriculums moving forward. Financial education's impact reaches beyond students to benefit their families and teachers as well. While researchers determine the most effective financial lessons, high school students may find retirement planning less relevant due to its distant nature. As financial literacy gains prominence, Americans could soon grasp concepts like compound interest and inflation, as well as basic scientific and mathematical principles. This shift towards practical financial knowledge promises a more financially savvy future. Better financial education can lead to smarter decisions, fewer loan defaults, and reduced consumer debt, contributing to a more stable economy. Integrating real-world financial tools and fostering collaboration among educators, financial professionals, and policymakers can enhance the relevance and effectiveness of financial literacy curricula. Additionally, examining successful financial literacy programs in other countries and involving parents in reinforcing these skills are crucial. Embracing technologies like gamification can make financial learning more engaging for younger audiences. Bonus 1. Here are 8 key takeaways. 1. Importance of practical financial education. Financial literacy is more impactful than traditional subjects like Shakespeare or the Pythagorean theorem. Equips individuals with the skills to manage personal finances and avoid common pitfalls like credit card debt. 2. Current educational gaps. A significant portion of U.S. adults lack basic financial literacy, contributing to financial instability. Many Americans face challenges with credit card debt, lack of retirement savings, and emergency expenses. 3. Need for comprehensive financial literacy programs. Research shows that robust financial education can lead to better financial decisions and economic stability. There's a strong public demand for mandatory financial literacy classes in high schools. 4. Challenges in teaching financial literacy. Traditional financial education is often insufficient and fails to stick with students. Financial literacy should include real-world applications and regular practice to be effective. 5. Historical context and shifts. Financial education was more common in earlier decades, but diminished due to an emphasis on academic fundamentals. Recent trends show a positive shift with more schools incorporating financial education into their curriculums. 6. Effective financial literacy strategies. Integrating financial technology tools and gamification can enhance student engagement. Collaboration among educators, financial professionals, and policymakers is essential for up-to-date curricula. 7. Broader benefits of financial education. Better financial knowledge reduces loan defaults, consumer debt, and reliance on high-risk loans. Enhances credit scores and guides students towards more affordable college financing options. 8. Legislative support and future outlook. Increasing state mandates for personal finance education show growing recognition of its importance. Bipartisan support for financial literacy legislation highlights its universal benefits. Bonus 2. Here are 8 exercises on how to implement the takeaways. 1. Importance of practical financial education. Instead of just teaching theoretical concepts, schools can have practical workshops where students create their own budgets, track spending for a month, and present their findings. This hands-on experience helps them understand real-world financial management. 2. Current educational gaps. Implement mandatory financial literacy classes in high schools where students learn about credit scores, how to manage credit card debt, and the basics of retirement savings. Real-life case studies and simulations can illustrate the consequences of poor financial decisions. 3. Need for comprehensive financial literacy programs. Develop a curriculum that includes personal finance modules covering topics like taxes, insurance, investing, and loans. Partner with local financial institutions to provide guest lectures and real-world insights into financial planning and management. 4. Challenges in teaching financial literacy. Use interactive tools and apps that allow students to practice financial decision-making in a simulated environment. For example, a budgeting app that lets students manage a virtual household budget, making decisions on expenses, savings, and investments. 5. Historical context and shifts. Reintroduce home economics classes that include modern financial management lessons. Students can learn about budgeting, cooking, and other life skills, integrating financial literacy as a key component of the course. 6. Effective financial literacy strategies. Incorporate gamified learning platforms like Kahoot or Quizlet for financial literacy quizzes and challenges. Use apps like Mint or YNAB, You Need a Budget, to teach students about tracking expenses and setting financial goals. 7. Broader benefits of financial education. Schools can organize financial literacy fairs where students and their families can attend workshops on different financial topics. Topics can include managing student loans, understanding credit reports, and preparing for homeownership. 8. Legislative support and future outlook. Advocate for and support legislation that mandates financial literacy education. Schools can collaborate with lawmakers to ensure that the curriculum meets the needs of today's students and prepares them for financial independence. Highlight success stories from states with mandated programs to encourage wider adoption. Thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing to the channel. Your support enables us to continue delivering valuable content like this every day. Let's grow our financial knowledge together.